Hi everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make my wild mushroom tartine. So tartine, I know that sounds kind of fancy, but according to Google, it is actually the national breakfast of France. Now, if you are from France, feel free to correct me if I'm incorrect. However, when you're eating this, you can imagine that you're sitting in a cafe outside in Paris, watching the people go by. Why the heck not? But basically, a tartine is a slice of bread. In this case, we're using the delicious stone meal bread, a slice of bread with toppings. And in this case, we're using mushrooms. It is so incredibly delicious. You can enjoy this for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, whatever you like. Okay, so the bread I'm using to make our tartine is stone meal. This is naturally fermented bread, basically the way bread should be. And it's wholesome, it's nourishing. I love that it's also high in fiber, high in protein, and there's nothing artificial. No artificial flavors, no artificial ingredients whatsoever. So I love it, and I feel good about giving this to my family as well. Because we're making this toast, it's a tartine, it's a little more fancy. We are going to put it onto a baking sheet. You could toast it if you want. I'm gonna do 4. So we're gonna put 4 slices onto a baking sheet. We're gonna drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and sprinkle with a little bit of sea salt. Then we're going to just bake it for a couple minutes so it gets nice and crusty. In the meantime, we're going to chop up our mushrooms and we're going to rehydrate our wild mushrooms. So I love using wild mushrooms because there's so many different types of mushrooms in here and they have such a beautiful earthy taste. And it's actually very easy to use them. Don't be intimidated. So I'm just gonna set that aside, and I'm also going to cut up a few cremini mushrooms, but you can make this recipe with just any mushroom. Okay, so I've drained my mushrooms. Don't forget to keep the stalk because it's so great for soups. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna saute these mushrooms with my cremini as well, in a bit of tamari, some balsamic, some olive oil, garlic. It's gonna be delicious, and then I'm gonna put it on top of my delicious bread. All right, here's our beautifully toasted, the olive oil, the salt, the pepper. We put a little bit of pepper on there as well. It smells so good. Okay, now we're just gonna spoon some of this deliciousness. Put a little bit of feta onto each tartine. Adding some fat is great when you're using like tamari and balsamic because it really helps to balance out the acid by adding a bit of fat. So I hope you love this recipe for this wild mushroom tartine with sprouted 3-grain stone meal bread. It is so incredibly delicious. I know you're gonna love it. I cannot wait to dig in. The full recipe is in the description box. Just click the link and I cannot wait to hear what you think. So give me a thumbs up, comment questions below, and I hope you have a joyous day. Bye!